600 military lawyers, immigration courtrooms. The Pentagon just changed the game. While sanctuary cities protect criminals and immigration courts drown in million-case backlogs, somebody finally said enough. What happens when the most powerful military on earth turns its legal firepower on the border crisis? What happens when judges who've prosecuted war crimes start ruling on deportations? The establishment's screaming about military overreach. Democrats are frantically citing laws they've ignored for years, but here's what they don't want you to understand. It's not about politics anymore. This is about a system so broken, so corrupted that only unprecedented action can fix it. And it's happening right now. So keep watching. Now, before we jump into today's news, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Hyperbit Technologies, trading under HYPAF on the U.S. market. As President Trump puts the spotlight on crypto and pushes forward policies to keep America ahead in the digital asset race, Hyperbit is charging ahead with next-generation crypto mining technology, expanding on their multi-million crypto treasury that already includes Bitcoin and Ethereum, and aiming to position itself to benefit from pro-innovation laws and executive orders. This is a complete diversified company that gives you one-stop exposure to the entire crypto sector without having to pick and choose individual projects. Honestly, I could talk about Hyperbit all day, but Trump's bold pro-crypto stance says it all. For everything you need to know, check out the link in the description below, hyperbit.ca. Now, Jeanine Pirro is going viral right now. Look at those barrels. She is standing in a warehouse full of blue barrels that are covered with plastic. Why? Because she writes, you are looking at the largest seizure of precursor chemicals used to manufacture methamphetamine in U.S. history. China was sending over 700,000 pounds on the high seas to the Sinaloa cartel before my office seized them. Watch this.
I'm Judge Jeanine. Hi everyone, I'm Judge Jeanine, and I am in Houston, Texas, and I am surrounded by 1,300 barrels of precursors that are being used to make methamphetamines. These precursors were seized as a result of work by my office in Washington, D.C., along with Homeland Security and Customs and Border Patrol. These 1,300 barrels were shipped from Shanghai, China, to Mexico. We intercepted these precursors on the high seas, and now the Sinaloa cartel will not be able to use them to make methamphetamines. And the bottom line is this: whenever there is an effort on the part of foreign terrorist organizations to create drugs that are killing Americans, we will seize them, whether it's on the high seas or whether it's in the country or a foreign country. And by the way, it's going to take 24 18-wheelers to take all of these containers and put them in a secure storage facility. And that's what we're doing in D.C., but we're doing it in Houston today. And you never know where we're going to be tomorrow.
How many did she say?
Country or a foreign country. And by the way, it's going to take 24 18-wheelers.
24 18-wheelers. I was looking at that. I'm going, how large was the ship that brought this in? I mean, that's a massive amount. 24 18-wheelers. My question is, why would they take them to a secure facility and not just simply dispose of them and destroy it? I mean, that's a lot of precursors. I'm not sure exactly what was in those. Like, what is the precursor? Like, how you would destroy it, but they're going to put it in a secure facility that needs to be destroyed. Here we have this. This is from DHS, Rapid Response 47 posting that DHS partners with the state of Louisiana to hold high-risk illegal aliens in the Louisiana State Penitentiary, the largest maximum security prison in the country. Watch this.
Hi, good morning there, bro. I got a Fox News exclusive where a notorious maximum security prison in the state of Louisiana will also double down as an ICE detention facility to hold the worst of the worst. That's a quote. Brooke Taylor live with a preview of the soon-to-be-announced Louisiana Lockup and Angola, Louisiana. Good morning there, Brooke.
Hi, Bill. Yeah, we are right outside the notorious Angola prison here in Louisiana. A section of this prison is going to be turned into an ICE detention facility, and it's going to be called Louisiana Lockup. Now, Fox is the first to report that 51 illegal migrants have already been moved here. Louisiana Lockup is going to hold up to 416 beds. The Department of Homeland Security says they've partnered with the state of Louisiana. They are using this unused section of the prison to detain and deport some of the worst illegal migrants. Now, Angola is the largest maximum security prison in the country.
I got a Fox News exclusive.
Now, if you recall, they just, the left melted down over alligator Alcatraz. So they've got to find a place to put these folks, and what better location than an actual prison, right? So I want to see the left come and try to attack this prison to shut this down. But, of course, you know that is on the horizon. Now, we played this earlier, but it bears repeating because it's in the same vein about what's happening with the sanctuary cities, what's happening with the action that's about to occur in cities across the country, like Chicago.
Criminals. Let me just begin with Chicago, which is very much in the news. President is getting ready, I guess, to send the National Guard into Chicago. And you can tell us you're going to be a part of this. Your agents, your ICE agents. Chicago believes it's a sanctuary city, but I don't think that's going to stop you with respect to criminals. Can you tell us what's going to happen here, sir?
Look, it hasn't stopped us from day one. I mean, as soon as President Trump took the oath of office, the first place I went was Chicago and ran an operation there. Brandon Judge said I wasn't welcome, and I went there the very next day. And the first day of the operation, I stayed for the first day of the operation, kicked it off. If I remember correctly, we arrested 7 or 9 child sex predators who raped children. We arrested 9 members of Trinidad, a terrorist organization, gangs. We arrested 2 illegal aliens convicted of homicide that were walking the streets. We seized pistols that had what they call a switch in the pistol, which made that pistol fully automatic, that were being sold by Trinidad gang members to other gangs. And that was just one day. We took a lot of public safety threats and national security threats off the streets in one day, which made Chicago safer. Got a lot more work to do. President Trump is committed. We're going to focus on sanctuary cities. That's what we're going to prioritize because we know we have a problem there. So there is going to be, as I said several weeks ago, we're going to flood the zone in sanctuary cities like Chicago, like Los Angeles, like San Francisco, and New York. We're going to flood the zone, and Chicago is one of them. We're going to go there and make Chicago safe again. President Trump committed that to American people, and the men and women of ICE and the Border Patrol will keep his promise.
Flooding the zone. We got this from Pete Hegseth. Has approved sending up to 600 military lawyers to the Justice Department to serve as temporary immigration judges, according to a memo reviewed by the Associated Press. The military will begin sending groups of 150 attorneys, both military and civilians, to the Justice Department as soon as practicable. And the military services should have the first round of people identified by next week, according to the August 27 memo. The effort comes as the Trump administration more regularly turns to the military as it cracks down on illegal immigration through ramped up arrests and deportations. Its growing role in the push includes troops patrolling the U.S.-Mexico border, National Guard members being sent to U.S. cities to support immigration enforcement efforts, housing people awaiting deportation on military bases, and using military aircraft to carry out deportations. Here is the headline. Pentagon authorizes up to 600 military lawyers to serve as temporary immigration judges. So this just in. And also we have this lawfare. The Pentagon has authorized hundreds of military lawyers, and it's now breaking in the news cycle.
The Department of Justice administration will temporarily assign military lawyers to act as judges in immigration cases. A statement released by the Pentagon spokesperson says at the request of the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense is identifying qualified judge advocates and civilian attorneys for details to serve as temporary immigration judges. These DoD attorneys will augment existing resources to help further combat a backlog of cases by presenting presiding over immigration hearings. There are a number of questions about the implications of this novel move, and for that we turn to James McPherson. He was the Undersecretary of the Army during the first Trump administration and also had a 25-year career in the Navy, where he served as that service's top lawyer in uniform. Thank you for being with us. And before we get to the implications, I have to ask, in your view, is this legal, the expansion of the U.S. military into a civilian judicial process?
Well, there's certainly a lot of legal issues that is raised by this decision, not the least of which is whether or not it's appropriate to appoint a commissioned officer in the military to these positions, whether or not it violates the Posse Comitatus Act. There are some old Office of Legal Counsel opinions out of the Department of Justice that indicate it is legal, but in a very narrow sense. And whether that narrow sense is met by appointing them as temporary immigration judges is yet to be seen.
Well, how?
Yeah, of course, there will be screaming and gnashing of teeth over this. The Associated Press also reporting on it.
Military lawyers did want to share this social media post from the Associated Press saying that the Pentagon has now authorized up to 600 military lawyers to serve as temporary immigration judges. That is according to a memo reviewed by the Associated Press. And
Pentagon to deploy 600 military lawyers as temporary immigration judges. That should speed things up. All of this happening now. B.C. Begley.
Temporary immigrant. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has approved sending up to 600 military lawyers to the Justice Department to serve as temporary immigration judges, effectively doubling the current bench. The move aims to ease a backlog of about 3.5 million cases, but comes amid criticism that military attorneys lack immigration law expertise. Immigration lawyers warn the plan undermines due process, while the White House says it is exploring multiple options to address the crisis, the Associated Press has reported. The military judges will serve in 179-day terms, renewable as needed.
So if you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is what action looks like. Well, Democrats spent years creating sanctuary cities and releasing criminals. Well, they let millions pour across our border unchecked. The backlog grew to over 1 million cases. Immigration judges overwhelmed, deportation stalled, justice denied. Now Pete Hegseth just flipped the script. 600 military lawyers who've handled classified intelligence, prosecuted terrorists, and upheld military justice are about to clear that backlog faster than Democrats can file lawsuits. Louisiana is turning its toughest prison into a detention center, and Tom Homan is promising enforcement raids that will make sanctuary mayors wet their pants. This isn't overreach, it's overdue. For too long, we've watched our immigration system collapse while politicians played games. No more. So the question is, should military lawyers be allowed to serve as immigration judges to fix the crisis? Drop a yes or no in the comments. Let's have a discussion down below. And you can show your support for real border security by checking out our merch shop. It's linked in the description.